The first one which we saw was that in most of these cases you had great visionary leadership. Some of these private sector organizations and even in the public sector organizations. You look at 1122, you look at even motorway police, you look at an institution like NAMS. But the challenge of that leadership then is to come up with processes, procedures, or to come up with an institutional setup which will then remain beyond the lifetime or beyond the tenure of that particular organizational leader or social entrepreneur who came up with the idea of the organization. Second, processes and procedures, how those are outlined in the organizations are extremely important. Procedures, processes, rules for public sector organizations insulate them from outward pressure, patronage, influence, and all that. Monitoring and evaluation mechanisms are very, very important for all these organizations. You look at the case of the Punjab Education Foundation, they come up with a program if it has external validation, external monitoring and evaluation, which assesses these programs. You have a board of directors of these organizations which is independent. In public sector organizations, having independent board of directors who have the leeway to implement different schemes, to come up with different ideas without any form of political interference. That is very critical. Then incentive mechanisms which are within those organizations. You have incentive-based pay schemes. People are rewarded, they feel part of that organization. Finally, I think another very, very important aspect of having a successful organization in an environment like ours is the social credibility and reputation of that organization, which comes through time. So, say for example, take 1122, or motorway police. These organizations, because of good service delivery in the initial years, were able to form a reputation. Now, once they form a reputation, that reputation in some ways then keeps them performing well and also protects them from any interference. If these are replicated, so if this is taken as a blueprint that you have these organizations, whether that be federal or provincial organizations within the public sector, you look at within the book, as we've outlined in the last chapter, that these are the key ingredients which are required for success. And if organizations are then structured in that basis, then that would mean that there will be high probability of these organizations being successful and being independent of political interference or possible rent seeking. So in some sense, these are these exemplars which can be used by the government to come up with a better performing public sector.